Hello, FlossTube. Welcome back to Stitch and Crime, although today it's going to be a lot of stitch and very little crime. And I'm not centered, but I don't care today because I haven't filmed in 6 months. It has been a year, and I've come to the conclusion today that done is more important than perfect. So you're going to get me today. I'm Stasha. Nothing scripted. I've got 6 months worth of stuff on the table here in front of me, and I'm just going to go through the piles. And I don't like the way the light's reflecting off my glasses, and it's not just the ring light. I'm filming in the morning. Usually I film at night, so I've got sunlight coming in through my east-facing windows, which of course means you can't look at the beautiful job that Jill Rensel did on my carousel. It was the Impossible Horses carousel from Ingleside Imaginarium. It was a sale a couple of years ago. Anyway, it's all framed. It's back there. It's over my horses. Eventually, that wall is going to be all my carousel pieces. But I also got this one framed for my husband. So this was a Dirty Annie's piece called Size Matters. And I found the pistols on Etsy. And I just love what Jill did with this one. So that goes in my husband's study. Okay, I'm just, like I said, today is not scripted. I am just going over what's on the table in front of me and getting it off the table so I can get things cleaned up. So I should have cleaned my glasses before I did anything too. But we'll just do it without glasses because the glare is driving me nuts. Okay, I finished Jardin Privé's, like I said, guys, I'm just going through the table. I don't have notes. I don't have anything with me today. So you're getting what's here. I know this was Jardin Privé. I know I used a Fibers to Die For. I know that the fabric is a mystery that I got from Cindy at Stitchery Express. Stitchery Express, unfortunately, is no longer in business. And a lot of it has to do with Cindy's health. I wish her well. And anyway, I don't remember what the pattern's called. I'll put it in the notes when I'm done. Like I said, today is filming. Today is filming and just getting things finished and done because life this year has been really interesting, and we'll get into that later. So I did finish Jack Frost's Tree Farm. This is also that mystery fabric from Stitchery Express. White disappears on it, which is, I was originally going to use this for my hometown holiday, but with the white disappearing, I just didn't want to do that. But I did use it for Jack Frost's Tree Farm. Now, how I'm going to finish Jack Frost's Tree Farm is I found this fabric at a quilt shop pop. No, it wasn't a shop pop. Anyway, a couple years ago, back when I started Jack Frost Tree Farm, I was at a quilting exhibition at Mountain America Expo Center in Sandy, and I found this fabric, and it's got the trucks, just like Jack's, and I thought this would make either great. I'll either do it as a fabric wall hanging, or I will do it as a pillow. Haven't decided yet. Not quite sure. We'll figure it out. Okay. And then I know I've got one other finish here on the table. Oh, I've got a couple finishes on the table. I've got a lot of finishes on the table. Okay. More Hometown Holiday. That's the fire station. Another hometown holiday, the chapel, the church. The ice cream parlor. I redid this one. The original one of the original pattern of this one the first one I stitched of this one, I ended up giving to a good friend of mine from high school because he really enjoyed it. So anyway, this is from my middle child gave this to me for Christmas one year. And they found it at an Etsy shop. So, you know, Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen, but they were all of them deceived. For another reindeer was made. So, and this was just threads from my stash, and it's a piece of opalescent something. I don't remember. Like I said, no notes. This is another finish. And now you're saying, Stasha, I don't remember you ever even working on that one. How did that happen? So a friend of mine, Sarah, the redneck bifocal stitcher, she was working on this. And every now and then we fall out of love with designers. Maybe they do something that really irritates us, or maybe they start using AI, so we don't want to use them anymore. That is not the case with Nora Corbett, but every now and then we fall out of love with a designer and we don't know what to do with the stuff that we have of theirs. Well, in this case, Sarah gave me her almost finished Holiday Queen. So I finished it. It needed beads and whisper. So it's all finished now, and it will be part of my Christmas decor. And it also works as a beautiful memory of Sarah because she has moved from Utah to Missouri, and I don't get to see her as often, although I do want to fly out there and visit her sometime. So anyway, like I said, this has been a year. And to be completely vulnerable, I knew things were going to go south this year when in January they gave out team goals and there were no goals for my team. Which kind of lets you know the layoff's going to be coming. So I did my panicking in February, which was also a time that the doctor switched my ADHD meds, which was really fun because the new meds he gave me made me paranoid. And knowing you have a job layoff and being paranoid at the same time, absolutely delightful. So much fun. Thank goodness for good friends who told me, you're not yourself. You need to go talk to your doctor. And when I went in, the doctor's like, okay, we cannot use this one. So I'm back on guanfacine, which, by the way, if you have high blood pressure and ADHD, guanfacine's about the only prescription that really works when it comes to lowering your blood pressure or keeping your blood pressure low. And guanfacine is, they say, oh, well, no, it's off-label for adults. No. Yes, it's an ADHD medicine for kids, but it does work for adults as well. So anyway, knowing the layoff was coming, I decided I was not going to do a lot of stash spending this year. And I haven't. This entire year, there are things that I purchased prior to knowing about the layoff that arrived. But I did buy Miss Just Nan's Miss Liberty Mouse. And I'm looking forward to working on her. And I have the perfect white fabric for her. I got the Midnight Posy pin pillow, which is more of that night garden that I got last year. Have I started any of the night gardens? Yeah. We'll get to them. Home is where the doggo is. from Heartstring Samplery. Let's see if I can get that so that you can actually see it. And I usually get just cross stitch from my library, but after looking through the library, I did decide to buy this year's Halloween issue. So if you would like a flip through, we will do that really quick. So here's the first page. The Free Spirit one is the one that got me on this one. That and the ghost flowers. You having allergies, Bobo? She's down here snorting. I don't know if you can hear it. Pumpkin Patch Invasion. Spirula. That one kind of looks cool. That'd be fun for a Halloween bathroom. Maybe swap out my seashells and put that one in. Is Anybody Home? I love that one too. Am I ever going to get around to stitching these? Yeah, maybe once I'm retired. The Triceratops. Like that one. Rubber Ducky Halloween. That one's kind of cute. Count Barkula. As I'm flipping through this, can you see why I decided I wanted to buy this one, not just have the library copy? Because you have to return the library copy. And by the way, the library copy is digital. It just shows up in my Libby account. And then I use it to decide what I'm going to buy. The Queen of Halloween. Old Witchy Friends. Midnight Stroll. I really like that one. That one would be fun to do. Fright Night. I like that. I like the cobweb on that one with the spider dangling below it. And the little glow-in-the-dark ornaments at the bottom are kind of cool too. And if they're not glow-in-the-dark, I would probably stitch them glow-in-the-dark. Scary Movie Night. Bejeweled Spider. Dance Macabre. Oh, that's kind of cool too. Like I said, I really fell in love with everything in this as I was flipping through it on the library copy. Lighthearted Halloween. I must have missed one. Nope, it's just the fact that it was reversed on the screen. The little mouse on that last one was kind of cute, as well as the plotted topiaries. Halloween Street. These would be kind of fun to do and then put on the back of my couch. I have a stickly couch, so it has a big wood platform on the back. So those, I put my Christmas things on there at Christmas time, and it'd be kind of fun to put something Halloween there. Falling Pumpkins bookmark. Harvest Friends. And that's everything in the magazine. So hopefully, if you hadn't thought of getting the magazine, that will encourage you to go get it. And then I accidentally ended up stepping into the quilt shop hop this year, and I got Quilts Etc. had the Pirates of the Caribbean quilt. They were all based on movies this year for the shop hop, and I made it out to pine needles and got their Summer Lovin' quilt from Greece. And at, I think it was Quilts Etc. that I won a bundle of fat quarters. And I have actually been doing some quilting this year. I am almost finished with the quilt top for my youngest child's wedding quilt, and they had their 6th anniversary in June. So yeah, it'll get there, you know. So I said I wasn't buying much, but I did get a package from Black Needle Society, which I wanted to open here with the rest of you. So I haven't even opened it. It's been sitting here for months, which means I, of course, missed book club. It's the retreat in a box, but I have to admit that was also the month that I got laid off for real, and things were just kind of there. So this is the needle minder, and kind of cool. I can't see it without my glasses, guys, so I'll put them on. It is a ticket to book club, is the needle minder. And so we have the book club needle minder, a bookmark. My to be read pile is almost as large as my to be stitched pile. I would agree with that. We have a Tolkien wooden, let's see, what is this? Cheddar cheese board. Speak Friend and Cheddar cheese board. So we have a cheese board. A book review notepad. That's kind of fun. I kind of like that. Okay, for those of you who like printing, great. For those of you who don't, sorry. We have a book hair clip. Cabernet Sauvignon and cheddar cheese spread. A creamy spreadable cheese made with real wine. It says it's good through 5 of 2027, so I am hoping that is shelf stable. That'd be fun with crackers. Specialty floss for the retreat in a box from Forbidden Fiber Company. So they are Wuthering Heights, Pride and Prejudice, and The Great Gatsby. This is Nothing Beats a Classic Book Sleeve. So pages on the inside and books on the outside. Cinderella, Aesop's Fables, Peter Pan, Little Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, the Snow Queen. Bordeaux fabric from Fiberlicious. And the pattern between the pages of a book is a lovely place to be, by Puntini Puntini. I don't think I have any Puntini Puntini, so that's a cute pattern too. I will probably end up stitching that. It will go into that to be stitched pile. I can always use a good hair clip too. As you can see, I didn't do much with my hair today. So we'll do this. There. Speaking of hair, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was I have fallen in love with this. This is Bar to Bar. It is a shampoo and conditioning bar. So if you've got not a lot of bathroom space, I love these. I like these better than the shampoo bottles. So they're for all hair types. They have specialty hair type products as well. But Bar to Bar is the company. And the way I discovered them was when MasterCard gave us the return to office mandate. They were down the hall from us. And I just dropped in one day and asked, what do you guys do? And they told me about their products, gave me a free sample of this. By the way, I can tell you that this is pet friendly because the dogs ate my original conditioner bar and they were perfectly fine. They didn't get sick or anything, so it is pet friendly. And I got a replacement one, and then I got the curls one too to try. But I have gone through the original shampoo bar and it was wonderful. Which is another reason why I had to film today, was because I needed shampoo. And I didn't want to open the bar until I told you about it. Okay, next Black Needle Society box. This is the Winnie the Pooh box. And I'm going to take everything out of this and then show you. Because the box is big and in the way. And then I can put the box over there. We have Christopher Robin's birthday party bag. This is so cute. I love this. Black Needle Society Oh Pooh pattern. You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And I really needed that today. Because one of the other things that happened this year that made me realize that all these things this year, I know I hate the phrase, oh, things happen for a reason. Really, really. But I will say this. I have seen the hand of the divine in my life this year. Starting the year knowing that my job was ending going through that medication scare, I ended up being part of an Easter pageant at church. I volunteered to be part of the Easter pageant because I knew I was going to need something to distract myself. I was going to need something to distract myself come springtime and the anticipated layoff. And if I threw myself too much into job search, I was going to go nuts. So I volunteered to be part of the Easter pageant and had some absolutely amazing experiences that really brought me closer to my Father in heaven. And let me know that when the scripture says his eyes are on the sparrow, how much more does the Father love his children? He does. He definitely does. And for those of you that are saying, oh, I can't believe she believes in Heavenly Father and divinity. Yeah, I do. Okay, and believe whatever you want. Your life, your choices. But for me, I have seen his hand in my life so much this year. This year I have had to be braver than I wanted to, stronger than I thought I was capable of. And it's still ongoing. But I know that I'm not going through this alone. I have some great friends. I have a great support network. We're only halfway there, guys. So my husband and I participated in the Easter pageant. And then the month after that, the official layoff came. And 2 weeks after the official layoff, my husband suffered a heart attack. And he is still in ICU. We are almost 40 days. Tomorrow will be 40 days in ICU. He had 5 days out of ICU and then coded. So he's died 6 times in the last month. And we're still 5 to 6 weeks out from open heart surgery. But this hits hard today. Because I am stronger than I seem. And braver than I believe. And this year has helped me see that. And for those of you wondering, wait, huge hospital bill, out of work. Part of my severance package was COBRA paid for by my previous employer. So at this point, they're taking care of all the bills. We've hit our annual out of pocket maximum, and I had enough of my HSA to cover all that, so we're good. Magnetic bookmark. Today is my new favorite day. You're going, Stasha, how could you lay something that heavy on and then just move on? Because I have a limited amount of time today. So we compartmentalize things and we move on, and that's how we do it today. Winnie the Pooh floss drops. Gentle Art sampler threads. I love Gentle Arts. Eeyore's Thundercloud. Piglet. A bear of very little brain. A peach Winnie the Pooh face mask. Honeybush peach loose tea leaf. Winnie the Pooh's honey soap. And we're now opening the big box. Oh, I love it. It's a Tigger mug. Hand painted. Safe for microwave and dishwasher top rack. I'm thinking though that hand painted, I probably want to hand wash. And the sealed packet. Is a Winnie the Pooh needle minder. Thanks for noticing. That's Eeyore's phrase. Thanks for noticing me. Okay. We are not going to put the mug on the chair where everything else is going. Now the things that have been sitting here since December. Things I got for Christmas. Night Stalker's Calling. Okay. Trying to think, what did this come in? Because these have to do with a book of some sort. Basquiat War College. The Fourth Wing. Griffins of Pomeril, and Dragons of Navarre. Okay, guys, that's not one of my fandoms. So, in the comments, tell me what fandom this goes to. I don't remember why I got these. I just know they've been sitting here since December waiting to be filmed. So, anyway. I also helped with a Kickstarter, and I got the carousel bugs. I think these are absolutely wonderful. I have the stickers for them. I don't know what the stickers are going to go on yet, but they will go on something. But they are pins. Don't you just love this praying mantis? Let me show this to you. Isn't that just wonderful? I was thinking it would be so fun to stitch a carousel and put these on as the horses. So that's the plan, is I'm going to be designing a carousel to put these on. I figure it'll be a double-decker carousel. 2 on top, 3 on the bottom. Other things I got for Christmas. This year I was planning to learn how to do cut work embroidery. Maybe next year. I am barely doing any stitching this year at all. I've just got so much going on. Tomorrow I actually start a new job, which is another reason why we are filming today, is because I have no idea how busy this new job is going to keep me. So, yes, I'm starting a new job with my husband still in the hospital waiting for open heart surgery. Yep. I got the RSN Fine White Work book, also for Christmas. Kind of goes with the cut work. My sister-in-law gave me this Caterpillar Stitchery needle minder. And she also gave me 2 cross-stitch kits. Very Christmas. One's Christmassy and the other goes with that needle minder. It is a bookshelf. And I was going to start those earlier this year too. And like I said, life happens. I got the Joan Elliott Bewitching Cross-Stitch book with the beautiful dragon. and the cat. I got a bunch of nutcrackers. The Katie did Nutcracker Volume 2, which I thought was kind of cool. Oh, that's here to be used another day. Okay, oh, the t-shirt. Today's Heffa What t-shirt. This is part of what makes me, this shirt is not cultural appropriation. This makes me an unpaid marketing employee for Kathy at Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. So, if you are looking for the facts, F-A-X, on true crime, not the facts, F-A-C-T-S, you can go to other channels for that. But if you want the facts, the gossip, the rumor, and the innuendo having to do with true crime, or just neighborhood gossip, go check out Kathy at Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo, because her channel is absolutely amazing, and she did a really good job on Corey Richins and several others. The other thing I got for Christmas is Ingleside Imaginarium's Don't Feed the Plants, and I have it fully kitted. I have the garden party fabric, which I just think that is perfect for it, and the flosses, the silk pack from Bestitched Me. So this was going to be my birthday start this year. I obviously got sidetracked. So I will get it started eventually. So anyway, that was my Christmas stuff. Oh, no. More stuff. Every year I get the Silks for You box, except for I don't know if I did it or not this year. I'll have to check. But Aurora Australis was the pattern. Lovely blue silk. Why does this just scream 80s at me? Remember the lime green and neon pink everything? Okay, those of you that are younger don't remember that. But everything in the 80s. A really nice purple neon. Oh, that purple. That's orange. That's an orange neon. I was looking at something else. I was looking at the purple neon. Beautiful teal. I love the Silks for You fibers. They really are wonderful. And then here's that. Here's a blend. This just screams 80s blend. It kind of screams the Barbie 80s outfit too. And these were 12 days of Christmas, so I opened them up individually every other day. That's a pretty lavender. A nice deep purple. Beautiful blend. Just a nice pretty lavender, another one. This was the scissors. Does that not just scream Reading Rainbow? The whole thing, this just reminds me of Reading Rainbow, which I'm very glad is back on the air, and I love my Shao as the host. I think he was a wonderful choice. And then we have a needle minder, a jeweled needle minder. It's been a challenging year, and we thank you for your support. Joe, Jamie, and Maddie. And then I also got the Night Stalker's Calling Advent Calendar. I bet those, you know what? I bet those threads are actually from this. Either that or they were an extra something. So we have mistletoe, peppermint hot chocolate, Burberries, cute little project bag, which it looks like I stuffed everything into, hot chocolate, Silent Night, cute little thread catcher or container, icicles, peppermint, candy cane. I love having this white wall behind me that I can use to hold things up that you can see the colors on. Oh, Christmas tree. Okay, I have to hold them up so that you can actually see them, not my arm. Poinsettia. Fruit cake. Every year for Christmas, I make my dad a fruit cake. He doesn't call it a fruit cake because he doesn't like fruit cake. It's his grandmother's applesauce cake. It's a fruit cake. Sprinkles. Winter storm. Gingerbread. And frosting. It does look like cream cheese frosting, doesn't it? There are some lovely floss drops. Some of those curled up holder things that I've never figured out how to use. If somebody knows how to use them, go ahead, leave me comments. We have a needle. I don't know if you can see that. There is a wire on there, so it's a needle threader. Another needle threader, but this one also has a magnet on the back. And then two needle minders. Two cute little Christmas needle minders. Stickers. And a little picture frame. I don't know what these are. They're like little round things. Maybe they go with the stickers or something. And then there were some patterns, a snowman bookmark, a page copied out of the Cross Stitcher magazine, and just some blue paper that I think, oh, that's right, these were wrapped too because they were 12 Days of Christmas. Okay. So that is pretty much everything on the pile except for what has Stasha been doing while her husband's in the hospital? And what have I stitched on all year? So needlepoint is big, and I have been pulling out some of my old canvases that I started back in the day. This is the Dragon Dreams doorstop. So for those of you who remember Jennifer Aikman Smith of Dragon Dreams, she actually painted some needlepoint canvases. And this is the Dragon Dreams doorstop that she painted. And I started it back in the 90s when it first came out. And I've worked on it off and on, but this is where I'm at. I am now working on the skin. I have finished the crest. Well, sort of. I haven't done the crest down there. I haven't done any of the back. I haven't done the tail. But you can see what I've done and what I haven't. So I'm not doing any of the true crime today because I'm going to start doing the true crime a different way. So what I'm going to do for the true crime portion of my floss tubes is I'm going to do a stitch with me, and I'm going to work on needlepoint canvases and do stitch with me needlepoint stitches so that you can see how things get done. So this one is a counted needlepoint piece. I also did a color conversion on it. It was in the Needle Pointers magazine from ANG. It was the original piece is called Tealicious, and you can see I've completed steps 1 and 2. I'm working on step 3. And that's most likely what I'm going to be doing when I start talking about true crime. I am also working on another needle pointers piece. Just like cross stitch, needlepoint can be done counted. So this is a counted piece, also from Needle Pointers. You can see where I'm at. I have finished the head, well, the body, and I'm starting on the wings. So this is where I'm at on this one. And this one will probably also end up being a stitch and crime. So the first case I'm going to talk about is the Kevin Restelli case. And everybody keeps talking about Restelli in connection with Donna Adelson and the Adelson family, because one of the things that Tracy Grist, the mastermind behind that one, did was Google Donna Adelson. And frankly, she Googled the wrong person. And we'll talk about that when I film that. But I've also stitched on Alice in Wonderland. For those of you who knew Robin, she passed away in February. She had been battling cancer for quite some time. But this is a piece that she started and asked me to finish for her. So she's got some heirs who are waiting for this one to be finished. So I have been working on this one at the hospital. I also have a neighbor who knew that I stitched, so she bought me an embroidery kit to work on at the hospital. And I will admit I have not opened it yet because I've been working on Robin's piece. I also am still working on Hometown Holidays. This is, it's upside down. It goes this way. This is the quilt shop, and this is where I'm at. This is a smaller piece that I take to the hospital with me. And then with America's 250, I did actually pull out some pieces to work on. I pulled 3 Sweetheart Tree pieces. These are from back in the day when Krynick was called Balget. Copyright 1996, 1999, and 2002. So I'm going to work on these, and I posted on Instagram and Facebook and Threads and for which fabric I should use, and this is the one that won. We'll be using anchor floss for them. So these are the red, white, and blue. I need to get different blue beads. because these were the only blue. Okay, no. Okay, these were the 2 sets of blue beads I had, and I am not happy with either one of them. These are too close to black. They're not really a navy, and these are just too bright. So once I get my first paycheck from the new job that starts tomorrow, we'll do that. Also, I need to pick up acrylic number 4 in acrylic 018 in 4, because this is 8, and I've got the other 2 Krynics in 4, but I will need to get an 18 and 8, and I will need to get some blue beads. So these were the other 2 fabrics that I was choosing, and decided they're just too white. So once I finish one of my hospital projects, those will become hospital projects. So what else did I do? I finally broke down and decided to start learning how to watercolor. And I took a class through the community college, and I had already paid for the class, and it was scheduled for June 20th. And I could not keep my mind on drawing the cupcake. And besides that, I had already eaten half my cupcake before the teacher said that we're going to be drawing these. So here is my half a cupcake laying down. And this is the charm that was on top of the cupcake. And you can see my head was somewhere else. But I played with it a little bit. And then I played with all the colors in the palette. And learned a little bit. And then the teacher said, you know, your mind's not here. Just draw what you feel. And this is what I was feeling. And I love the interesting brush strokes up here. But this was 17 days after his first heart attack, before his first surgery, when he still had the pacemaker in. But this is how I was feeling that day. And I don't know if you can tell the brush strokes, the red comes from the top, the black comes from the bottom, with the exception of the ones with the interesting brush strokes in the corner. But I'm actually looking forward to playing with watercolors some more. The teacher suggested that we get small notebooks that we could carry with us everywhere. And I'll admit my paint palette is small, and I could carry that with me. But I haven't gone and gotten a small watercolor notebook anywhere yet. So folks, that's everything on the table. That is where we are at. And like I said, filmed is better than perfect. So we have filmed. And I am not positive when I will film again. A lot of it, like I said, start a new job tomorrow. Luckily, it is completely remote. It is in a time zone that is 2 hours earlier than I am. So my day starts at 6 a.m. I'm done by 3. That gives me time to go to the hospital in the afternoons and be with my husband. And then I get a few hours in the evening to work on the house and take care of the dogs. And the hardest part about this job is trying to adjust my bedtime to 10 p.m. because I am a late night person and this is an early morning job. So this is going to be interesting. It is going to be very interesting to wake up at 5, be in the office at 6, be done by 3, have the rest of my day to myself. I will say the other thing that's really interesting right now is my husband is a chef, and I have not cooked in 40 years. Next year will be our 40th anniversary. So I am at home with his stove and his kitchen. I do have some pans that are my pans, so I can use my pans. I've just never had to. So cooking for one is really different. The last time I did this, I was in college. Before that, I cooked for 14 because I was the oldest girl and had 7 brothers and sisters and 2 parents and always friends. So, and I do not know what's going on with my voice today. Maybe it's the fact that I'm a little nervous about filming after 6 months. But anyway, I feel like I've had a frog in my throat the whole time. Anyway, folks, be safe. We'll do the true crime some other time when I have the energy. One of these evenings when I'm home from the hospital. I actually have a script for the Rastelli case, so we'll do some stitching and we'll do some crime. I've got a setup that will allow me to film from my phone, just showing my hands while I'm stitching. So I just haven't set it up and tried it out, so we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, guys, be safe. Hug those that you love. Tell people that you love them, because you know what? You never know. You never know when things can change in a heartbeat. So anyway, be safe. Be careful. Oh, and for those of you who are like, wait, you're starting a new job tomorrow, but your previous employer was paying for Cobra, you're going to lose Cobra, but starting a new job. No, my new job is a contract. I am self-employed on this contract. I'm still on Cobra. I don't have any other insurance options at this time. So, and those of you that are in the UK and outside of the US and Canada, you can go, oh, thank goodness we do not have the US healthcare system, because, yeah. But everyone at the hospital has been absolutely amazing. After 40 days, I know my way around ICU. Most of the nurses know me. You know, I have a lot of respect for nurses. You know, they treat, all the nurses have treated my husband as if he is the only patient they have ever had in their entire lives, that like he is the most important person in the world. And just watching the way the ICU works, they don't ever see these people more than 4 or 5 days. We're an anomaly. The fact that we've been there for 40 days waiting for him to get stable enough for open heart surgery, plus waiting for his heart to heal enough so that they can actually do surgery on it. Nurses are amazing. You know, they maybe see people 3-4 days and that's it. And then they're gone and they don't ever hear about them again. They don't know what happened to them. They don't know if their lives turned out, if they survived. You know, it's got to be an emotionally heavy load to carry. So, you know, hats off to nurses. You guys are amazing. And doctors at least follow up with people. Nurses, you get them while they're in your room and that's it. And everybody has been just amazing that we've worked with. So thank you, everyone. I would appreciate thoughts, prayers, good vibes, whatever you normally think of when offering healing help to people. So have a wonderful rest of your summer, everybody else. And I'd love to hear your adventures, because let me tell you, floss tube's one of the few things I can do while he's asleep. Thanks, everybody. Have fun.